And welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you so much for dropping by. This is Winged Radicals. I'm Peyton, he, him, they're Mike.
Hey, everybody. What?
I don't want to get canceled from YouTube.
Too late.
So I have a confession.
Okay. Okay.
I
put this down for a minute while
I
you
have
confess
sex
something.
with you daily in my imagination. And I've been wanting to tell you that for some time.
I smoke crack cocaine for real daily.
So, yeah.
We're just getting right into that, huh?
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, apparently, former President Barack Hussein Obama wrote in a letter to I think it was a love interest of his back in, I want to say, college years. He said to her that he has gay sex daily.
Did he specify which way?
In his imagination. What do you mean?
There's really only one thing I can mean. Like, pitcher or catcher.
Oh, I see. I didn't even get there.
You need to think gayer thoughts, Peyton.
So these are, I guess he's got a biographer. And the guy, I guess, kind of unveiled this in some interview or something.
Are you talking about the guy that's like terminal or something?
Man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Or he's going to jail or something? I don't know.
No, I think it's just a guy that is writing a biography of Obama, and I mean, of course, his life isn't over, but
yeah. We'll go here.
So the document itself is owned by Emory University, that in Atlanta, and so I haven't actually seen the.
Talking about that guy? Is that the guy you're talking about?
No, that's not the biographer.
Okay.
We'll get to that guy in just a minute.
Oh, okay.
But
I'll hold on then.
Yeah, there's this document. It's handwritten from Obama, and so I haven't seen the whole thing because apparently it's housed and owned by Emory University, and you can't I guess take pictures of it and stuff, and so I haven't seen what the whole context was, but I can't think of any context that would change the meaning of the quote.
Like you took that gay sex thing in my dreams every day way out of context.
Right. The only thing I wonder is this like a play, like you're in college and there's like one of the, there's a purple hair girl, but she happens to be kind of hot and freaky, so you say certain shit to try to get in.
I'd be like pretending and be like, hey, let's do hair. I wouldn't be like, bro, last night, dream.
Yeah, I'm not trying to defend it or whatever. I don't have to. It doesn't matter to me if he's gay or half gay or imagines to be gay or whatever, but it was just interesting that you could tell in the bit that I did read from the article, that the excerpt I did see, you could tell he's definitely like a very sort of like intellectual type, which we all kind of know about Obama. He talked about sort of like being maybe androgynous or something, and not even really in wanting to view people as not man or woman, but that he was okay with the fact that he was a man, and that that was sort of the sort of hand he was dealt in life, and that was fine with him. But at the same time, he sort of like didn't even necessarily view people. It was weird, really, in a way. I didn't really know what he was thinking.
You're like several layers deep in this cake here. Like, I thought this was just like, haha, Obama's gay, Tucker said it. And we're like,
so now for Tucker Carlson, of course, who is probably not getting the views he had expected when he moved over to X. I mean, not that he had a choice when he got fired from Fox, but he's now got this guy who's like a known criminal, and a known bullshitter from years back, who Tucker Carlson had him on his show to talk about his claims of doing cocaine and having oral sex with Obama. And it's just ridiculous, even for Tucker Carlson to like give this guy airtime. You know what I'm saying?
And yet here it is.
And yet here
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah. Pulled up in a bar.
Oh, what?
And there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is this?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't as long.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
It's having sex with dudes, you know?
So that guy brings a whole new meaning to the word whistleblower.
Sheesh.
So yeah, I totally believe that guy.
Jesus. I do. Did you see him? He looks totally credible. Incredible.
So he said he rubbed his hand down his thigh, which got me to thinking about something I read recently about micro.
There's no way this is for like serious how you're approaching this. I fucking tried, man. I tried.
What?
Nothing. Continue. Continue with the very, very serious thing you're about to say. I'm sorry, I fucked it all up, I'm sure.
Was there something else you wanted to mention about Obama's gay sex imagination?
No, I love all of his gay sex imagination. We're good.
So anyway,
rubbing thighs.
it just got me to thinking about the taint area of our anatomy as men, and apparently microplastics, that we sort of apparently all are swimming in and consuming. Okay,
what's the
time
word?
out. My wife is home now.
What the fuck?
I actually left Emmy there
What
for the
the
last
fuck?
10, 15 minutes.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Did you tell Chrissy that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Dude, we got to cut that out. Like, you're going to jail for sure.
No, that's legal.
Questionable. Where's Dawson?
He's sleeping.
Okay. All right. We're good.
I had invested in time into this episode.
I appreciate
I didn't want to lose out on this opportunity. You put a deadline on me, and I had to make it.
I mean, you were early, but okay. Fuck, bro. Cool.
So the taint area.
The taint.
Apparently,
what are the plastics called? What's the shit called? I just watched the whole Rogan episode that I'm assuming you got this from.
DINP?
No, it's like
DNP?
Well, maybe you're probably right, but it's like what's the fucking?
I don't know that this detail matters, but if you want to Google it
keep
right
talking.
quick.
Yeah, it is.
So microplastics that say we all consume, including women, that are pregnant, are getting into the baby. The baby boys, and in some cases, apparently, there's some research suggesting that it is shrinking the taint area.
The taint area.
And maybe even the penis.
I believe that's called HED in medical terms, which is the something distance. I don't know, but it's the distance between your...
You're talking about the technical name for taint?
Yeah.
Okay.
They refer to it as HED. HED, and it stands for something. I could look at that up too. Fuck.
So, this is not as bad as I first thought, because I didn't think much about it, and I was like, oh my God, I thought it was like shrinking in real time, which obviously is stupid to think, but it's actually like through the generations. This could be affecting our taint size as a human race. And so this is not really that important. It just I came across this, and at first it was kind of alarming. But the source was Joe Rogan, so that you got to take that with a grain of salt. But apparently it was from a scientist on his show. But he's kind of been talking about it on other episodes since.
This was
then.
in 2021, and he's been talking about it since.
Yeah, he keeps bringing it up.
Plastics. Oh fuck, man. I don't know. It would answer it in like 2 seconds of the Rogan clip. Anyway. Well, I don't know. I know nothing out of any of this stuff that we're talking about. officially.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted
But yeah, it's like a
everyone
real
to be
thing.
put on notice that your
It's like-
wives, in addition to not eating cheese, if you suspect that you may have impregnated her with a little boy, you may want to
God.
keep her from the microplastics, in addition to the soft cheeses and such. Because I mean, like, do you enjoy Taint play yourself?
Like my taint?
Yeah,
Not
you don't
particularly.
really. Because I hear that. I've talked to a few men since I've read about this, and I've asked them about.
You're fucking kidding me.
Why would you think I'm kidding? Anyway, you know how I am. I ask people stuff like this. So,
Well, give me feedback. So my answer is no.
you're not into it.
No, I don't tickle the taint. But
No, you're receiving end, right? I mean, I'm talking about
nope, I don't get my taint tickled.
really
Yeah, no.
licked. You're not into it.
No.
Are you judging me now?
Nope. Just it seems like something that I'm picturing happening to myself, and it seems like a
I
thing.
like that. I like that.
Are you for real,
I'm dead ass.
bro?
What about nutsack?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, it's just. I mean, it's probably more nerve endings in the taint area than your sack.
You have no science to back
said
that
probably.
substantially. Well,
Probably based on
is it
anecdotal-
probable?
Based on my feeling,
It's possible. I don't think it's probable.
Google it. No, I'm just kidding. We'll move on.
Still doesn't make
Anyway,
it probable.
We'll move on.
So penises and taints are shrinking, apparently scientifically, it's like generationally. Like it's not like because when you first explained this to me or brought it up, I'm just thinking like,
Dude.
my taint is getting smaller by the minute. Like what's happening? Why are you saying, dude?
Because I just thought of something. Can you imagine the taint on like great granddaddy O'Shea?
It's fucking like 10-foot taint, bro.
Fucking football field.
It's like
Just
the underside of
grassy.
an elephant. Fucking huge, bro.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Granddaddy O'Shea. They have rumors, stories about him. Fucking legendary
Absolutely.
taint.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get into some
Yeah.
some real topics.
Fuck, bro. Okay. What do you want to?
Well, so one thing that I was reading an article this week about just how we are cruising to a Biden versus Trump part 2.
been doing that,
And
bro.
well, you have this some sort of weird sneaky suspicion that it's not going to be Trump. You said last
Nah,
week.
it won't be.
So I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay. I don't. You have yet to give any like logic.
That's
or
just a
theory
gut.
to
It's
that.
just a gut thing.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's a gut thing.
Okay,
yeah,
respect.
the numbers say Trump versus
Respect,
Biden. That's why I'm going. That's why I think
Well,
this is a good
and
topic.
I am, and we'll get to maybe. Well, I can just throw it out there now. It's not really part of the agenda, but excuse me, Nikki Haley is kind of on the move apparently in Iowa, because I've talked about how Iowa and New Hampshire, that's going to
Yeah,
be
big deal.
You know, it's going to be. So apparently she's really growing in her popularity there. She has picked up tons of money and tons of support among, players in Iowa.
That's awesome.
And people are reaching out to those players also saying, hey, get behind her.
I'm most excited
she may
about her.
be that
Like-
one that has finally arrived that can be the non-Trump person for Republicans that don't want him.
I would feel good as her being the first, in my limited knowledge of her, being the first,
Right.
the female president. Like I think she'd be.
And it's not like I'm like Mr. Yay, Nikki Haley, you're the best
Yeah,
ever
right,
guy.
right,
all of a
right.
sudden. It's
Right.
just, it seems right. It feels right.
You look at the people up there and like, I'm like she's my favorite right now.
And Biden has come out. I think there's been some leaks out of the Biden sort of realm talking about how she is the biggest threat to him in a race of all the Republicans. And I don't know if that's true, because I feel like a lot of them, other than Trump, could be, and even Trump himself.
She's saying
could
a
be.
lot of Democratic sounding things though, which could pull his voters that are anti-Biden, which
Right.
is why she's spooky to him.
Yeah, I mean, assuming that she does go ahead and get all the Trump supporters once he's not
Yeah.
the nominee.
That's the problem.
Then, we'll see. I don't think they're going to turn on her.
The pro-liberal rhetoric is anti-MAGA rhetoric, so she's got to walk this
Yeah.
line here to
But
get through the
anyway,
primary.
we seem to be cruising toward this
Yeah.
Trump and Biden part 2 thing. And so I was wondering, like, is there a better way Like, is there something? Have you ever given any thought to like, could we do this
Yeah.
in a better way to how we elect the president? Because we seem to constantly get the lesser of two evils, and I'm exaggerating a little bit because it's just been so bad recently. So I don't want to have recency bias here, but like it's bad.
Yeah,
it does
like
seem to
what's
be getting better?
Like what's the better way? So like everybody votes. Oh, you mean to get candidates? Like a better way to farm candidates, or do you mean a better way?
All of the above. All of the above. Of selecting of recruiting and selecting better options.
So selecting better options, I feel like isn't. I feel like you can't. I feel like it's unconstitutional to change the way it's done because it's done in a way that anybody can run, and because of that, it's going to be the people with the most money and popularity are going to make it up to the candidacy up there. So, like, how do you restrict that? Do you say, well, X, Y, and Z people can't run? Well, that's not constitutional. Everybody can run. You know, so like, I don't know what you could do honestly in terms of farming candidates. Now,
Well,
how you vote for them, like the electoral college is fucked. Like, there's certain things like that could be adjusted that I don't think are constitutional.
Oh, that is
Is that constitution? Is the electoral?
Oh yeah.
Well, that
you
sucks.
can't. Yeah.
See.
So everything that I kind of was thinking, because I have some I would say possibly brilliant. They say brilliant.
They say brilliant.
They say brilliant idea.
Great people, the best people, most brilliant ideas. Keep talking. I'm getting my wrong.
Okay, but it would definitely take a constitutional amendment, the things that I'm thinking about, because I mean, as you said, like it would take something quite monumental.
Okay, so unconstitutional things are on the table.
Well, things that would be constitutional.
They're categorically unconstitutional. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're categorically unconstitutional unless you change it.
I'm saying that their proposal is to change the Constitution.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're currently not how we
Unconstitutional.
could do it. Yeah,
I'm with you. Yeah.
okay.
I didn't know that was an option in going into this.
well, yeah, because
It just seems
as
like
you said,
everything's
it
impossible.
is very much so baked in right now. There's not a lot. I mean, I would say, yeah, there's not a lot of good options right now.
So I mean,
So here's the thing.
you definitely did more homework on this than me because I'm not the guy that knows anything about how this
Well,
works.
you
So,
see if
like,
you can
what are
poke
some-
holes in what some of
Yeah,
my
I
ideas
can
here.
I can poke holes. They call
you
me.
see-
Never mind. keep going. I had nothing. I don't know what they call me.
They call me SpongeBob. So all right. Number one, we're gonna elect, and we're gonna elect nationwide. Okay, one person, one vote, not electoral college. Okay, this is the first step. It's
popular vote.
Step one of popular vote.
Yeah.
Not divided across the states, just
Yep.
all the American people.
Which I'm all for.
Okay, which
I
I
totally
support.
vote for that.
Yes. Okay. I'm a pretty, it's not like the electoral college is the worst thing ever. It's we almost always get the candidate who does win the popular vote ultimately
Well,
in
we
a
haven't
direct
lately.
sense. But we have missed a couple times lately. But the point, but it's personal to me because I hate the fact that someone's vote in Alaska counts more than mine. It's weighted heavier.
Alaska is?
Well, see, they have
less people.
yeah, but they still get the 2 senators, which is 2. So they have 3 electoral votes.
That's not how it works.
You got this is a little bit of a you're a math guy, so you'll.
But
get
their
it in a
vote.
second.
Their vote. The person's
per person.
I thought you meant the state's vote.
No.
The person's vote counts more than yours because
Right.
they get 3 compared to our 27 in population
if you
wise.
divide out their 3
Right.
amongst their whole population and our
Right.
27,
They get way more
theirs is
votes per
powerful
person. I understand that. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay.
So that's number one. That pisses me off. Number two, it just kind of sucks that if basically that it's electoral because if the person I vote to wins 49.999% of the vote, they lose 100% of the electoral votes in Florida, and
Right.
my vote meant nothing in that
Right.
sense.
Right.
So of all the talking that we've talked about, Biden and maybe
you have
me
this,
voting
like,
for Biden or whatever, it doesn't matter who I vote for really.
Yeah.
In 2024, the Republican candidate's going to win Florida. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming, but I mean,
Yeah.
So
Which
it's
is
like,
why you're
sucks.
going to register
It's like,
Republican. You
know.
just got to play the game, though.
All right. So step one is to do away with the electoral shit and just go popular vote. All right. Step two is we're going to change the age to right now. The minimum age is 35. I'm going to go 45
Trash.
to 65.
Trash.
You got to be 45 to 65.
Why? When have we gotten a 35 to 45-year-old president? You tell me when that rule has even mattered. Now, I'll go with the height cap, the ceiling.
Hold on.
Okay. Go for gold here.
Wait, you're arguing that I shouldn't want it to be higher than 35 just because there's never had one that low happen?
Yes, only because I don't think there's a bad history of there's no reason. I don't see a reason for that.
The reason is because of something that's coming next.
Oh fuck. Okay, so let's table that and say I agree with the ceiling.
So
of
first of all,
obviously.
this is a relatively rough draft.
Yeah.
Okay, my plan.
Yeah, I understand.
And so I am flexible on the age, but in thinking about it, I was thinking 45 to 65.
Okay, so I agree with 65
because I'm 35 and I don't feel ready to be president yet.
Bro, even at 24, I didn't feel ready to have kids. Fucking doing great. So well, that's it. I don't know about great, but
I'm not saying
doing
that I'm the standard. I'm just saying I don't feel ready yet, but I feel I could be getting close within 10 years.
Okay.
Was
that your point about it? Because you said you got a thing coming up.
No, that wasn't it.
Okay, so let's say I agree with the 65 thing, like I do with the whole the old people and retiring, get the hell out of here.
All right, here's the next part.
Persuade me.
Here's the next part. Not the part that's related to the age, but the next part.
But we'll get there.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll table the 35 thing.
Next part, ranked choice voting, like in Alaska.
I like that.
Okay, where my favorite guy is this guy, but my second favorite guy is this guy, and I can feel free to do that.
That only works with more than two candidates.
Or we're getting there.
Okay. No, did you go in a backwards order? Did you start at the end? And you're working.
I don't think I did, but
because everything is like, well, if you
I'm leading up to the biggest thing that's going to be possibly the dumbest, but I haven't thought through it enough yet and found anything wrong.
All right, so we're tabling the 35 minimum age and
45. We're tabling
35 to 45. Yeah.
I said 45 to 65.
No, I'm saying we're tabling changing 35 to 45. We're saying the same thing. Yes. We're tabling the ranked choice because you need a third candidate.
No, we're not tabling ranked choice. I'm talking about that now. I want to clear. I want to make sure everyone. I just want to say.
You're going to recap what ranked choice is. Go. Do it.
Not very long.
Fucking get it.
I just want to say.
Yep.
The point is, right now, oftentimes we have to pick lesser of two evils, and if a third party candidate jumps in, we can't, even if we like them, we can't go there because we know we're just fucking ourselves we have a big chance of getting our least favorite candidate if we support our favorite candidate.
Yeah, so like you're gonna pick Trump right now because you don't want Biden to win. When really you could go Nikki Haley, Trump, Biden, and then when Nikki Haley gets kicked out, you got Trump as your fallback plan.
Well, I would say. Because Haley and Trump are in the same party, which matters for what I'm getting to in a second.
I understand.
So yeah.
Okay, Joe Jorgensen. You love Joe Jorgensen last year.
I love fucking Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who runs as an independent. Just kidding, but for the sake of the hypothetical.
Yeah.
And I want to go ahead and go him one. And then
But you're going to vote Joe second.
And sure, whatever.
Let's say it's Trump, Biden.
If you're saying I'm a
Kennedy.
Democrat today,
then
I'm going to go Joe, and then
that way your vote doesn't get thrown away on someone who's definitely going to lose, and then enough people might be encouraged to vote for the independent, and then you might see this 33 shit, which they need a push. You know, the independents need a kickstart getting out there, and a ranked choice would help them a lot.
Yes,
and might reshape politics.
Yeah, so.
I agree with that one.
For the ranked choice, I would love it in Florida. I like it in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be going to. It seems like so far in its very short life in Alaska, it has had the desired effect that it's supposed to have there.
Yeah, because the Republicans played fuck around and they found out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking idiots.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what happens.
Let me get to the big thing.
Big thing. Hit me with it.
This is the crazy thing. All right.
So crazy.
You vote in the presidential election for the party, and you have no idea who the candidate is.
Hate it.
And the parties don't even know who the candidate is.
Hate it.
Well, I'm going to finish my proposal.
Nobody likes this in the country.
That's fine. It's not expected, but I'm going to put this out there for future generations to see how
right,
how early I was on this brilliant idea. Right now, I will be in the history books as the person who founded the idea.
I don't even think that you think this is a good idea, but continue. No, don't answer that. Explain it.
I actually like my idea.
I'm gonna counter.
That
why
is fine.
Okay.
I need that.
Yeah.
But just let me say
Yeah,
my thing.
yeah, totally.
So we are so caught up in the entertainment aspect, the popularity aspect, and not the issues aspect. And so to me, we need to be focused on what is the platform that you're saying you are about. And so we would still have parties. And I don't have the answer yet for how we set a maximum number of parties.
Not even going to
and
ask
that sort of thing. I can't say that yet. That's part I haven't worked out yet because you can't have 1,000 parties, but you need more than 2 or 3 probably, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, you just put qualifiers for debates. You could have 1,000 parties.
So what we do is we have basically intellectual gladiators that can take a test and they can show just a broad range of knowledge across biology, government.
This is a
history.
candidate.
This is a
candidate takes a test and shows that they're
possible applicants to
well
be the
enough.
president.
Yeah, so they have to show qualifications, not just my party likes them because it will make our party win.
So they have to have a rigorous exam to be able to pass, and then they join up with a party. They do become a part of some party and they fill out the questionnaire.
But the party doesn't know that they're part of the party yet?
No, they're like pre-vetted. Like they're...
Oh, okay. So like each party has like a pool of potential applicants or a pool of applicants.
So if this helps, if I was like the Republican Party platform I like, the Republican Party would still have their party apparatus. They would have a party chair. They would have spokespersons that would advocate for their party.
Whoever tests highest is the guy?
No.
Oh, I like
it's
that.
Completely random.
Squid Game.
It's not
random.
You got to listen.
I'm out.
It's so if we the American people elected the Republican to be president, okay, there would be like a lottery.
Squid Game.
And you pick out of a hat the person that is going to be president, and they have already done their health exam. They've already applied. They've been vetted that they're a true Republican, and you can reapply. I would say every 4 years, but you would not be able to change. Like
still under the 45 to 65 thing. This factors in.
Yeah, you have to be 45 to 65 to be able to apply.
You have to pass your cognitive health exam.
You had already passed that exam once upon a time. You probably wouldn't have to repass that all the time. Once you've passed that exam, that's fine.
I think every time you're in for the election, you got to pass that bitch. Like fresh start.
I mean, that just seems, I don't know. And so we have these people out there that are like actually as qualified as a human can possibly be qualified to hold that office, and they also have proven like that they believe in the values of this party. They could be a liberal, they could be a socialist, they could be a libertarian, they could be a conservative, they could be whatever.
So,
they would they can't. But what I need a mechanism for is they can't go, oh, read the tea leaves. I think the American people are moving to a populist right this year. I'm going to apply as this. I would have some sort of limit to where you can maybe re-enter the pool every 4 years, but you cannot be changing.
You have a longer term on changing.
Yeah, you got like every 10 years before you can change the party or something. You know what I'm saying?
Which you might legitimately do.
Right.
People change.
People change, but
you have to be really invested in that. You can't just you can't re-register as a Republican and Democrat to vote in the primaries. Like that type of thing.
You can't.
So I like what you're doing with making it objective for a qualification of a candidate. So I like that in general. You could do that without any of the other shit you suggested. Anybody who's going up for presidency and is a candidate has to pass this objective House and Senate approved fucking qualifier, this cognitive test, this health test, not like the health test they do today where the doctor said, whoa, okay, give me some kickbacks and you're healthy, like an actual approved one. So they could do that today without this other random mystery president thing that you like. I still don't like that.
Okay.
Because and this is where I thought that you actually wouldn't like this either, is because I think that, like, I haven't gotten to this point yet, but I believe truly that when the right Democrat comes along against the wrong Republican, that I will vote Democratic in a presidential election. And I think you will do the same either way. Like, you're more moderate, so I think that you'll go either way. I haven't been paying attention to politics very long to have voted. Well, I voted for Obama, but I still didn't know what I was doing. So if you're going blindly with the party, you're always going to vote for your party. That you start losing, I think, even more so the less polarization. You're going to lose the moderate people, because I think, like, I'm always voting Republican and we're going to see who my Republican guy is. It's not like a Democratic policy is going to pop up that I love and I'm going to vote Democratic. It's like, I would vote Democratic because I think the Republican's an idiot and the Democratic candidate is really smart and sharp. It's not because of the party itself. So I think you would just have nobody switching sides ever. And then I think you lose a big aspect of.
Well, I don't know. That's a hard thing to say, but I feel like I don't know if that's true, but I feel like it would be worth it to me for us to be focused on party and to be able to say, I'm a part of this party, and these are the reasons why. And the parties can change, right? The party platforms change, and because if you're a member of a party, you have your own, hierarchy and people that you elect, and people that rewrite the party's platform every 4 years. That changes, and so that platform.
So the party morphs,
change.
and you might switch parties because the party
parties, but you would, you would
maybe
be focused on party. I mean, all you're saying when you're focused on party is you're focused on issues versus being focused on a person that is, because we have so much, because it's hard to get away from that whole popularity thing. Oh, Michelle Obama's running, or this guy talks so well, like Vivek, or Trump is, I don't know.
I saw on Pierce today, setting up the show, that it is Vivek. Like, you're totally right.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. He Pierce brought it up on a show with Vivek and was like, "Hey, we've all been saying your name fucking wrong, and you're just like super polite about it. But I've heard that it's Vivek. Is that correct?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's Vivek."
Yeah,
and
it
everyone
actually
just says
sounds better
Vivek.
anyway. In a way, I don't know.
I'm. It's gonna take me a while to get used to it.
It's like Kamala and Kamala. It's like,
I'm used to Kamala now.
But at first,
yeah, it was tough. But yeah, so you've. I don't think you're going to convince me on the party thing, which you're not trying to convince me. You're just proposing different.
It's never
going
to happen,
right?
But it's just like, right now, I can see the popular vote happening potentially in our lifetime.
That's a great one. Ranked choice, maybe.
Ranked choice in on top of that would do a lot of the work. I would be happy with that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, get to the, unless you're not ready, get to the thing about ranked choice where you said, or maybe you already did. I guess that was with the number of parties and all that. It wasn't just Republican and Democratic. Never mind. You kind of covered it. I was going to say, like, you only have 2 parties up there, really, unless you count the independent. But then you mentioned, there could be a million parties, but there have to be a cap. And I think was how you covered the ranked choice thing. Like, in your plan, maybe we have a primary type thing. Yeah. Where because we wouldn't have a primary for parties
anymore to select the nominees.
So
what we could have is we could have a primary, and the top 4 parties
make it to the ranked choice. Yeah. Yeah, they go to the semifinals, the final 4.
Yeah,
and then we have a real vote and ranked choice that bitch with 4 people. I like that. Like that, you have me sold on that. Qualifiers, like real, objective qualifiers for candidates, ranked choice, and definitely popular vote. Like we could switch to popular vote immediately with like no hiccups.
Because it takes a lot of the just sort of popularity and all the shit that they do to try to say this or that.
It would totally change it.
Like you just, election day happens and you're like, oh shit, the Republicans won, and I'm one of the applicants that made it through all the tests.
Oh yeah,
and you might get a call
I might
the next
be fucking
day
president
from the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court says
your lotto ball popped up.
Yeah, you're gonna be
fucking ball 69
you're invited
showed up.
You're invited to be president. Would you accept the honor? Hell yeah. All right, see you January 20.
Yeah.
There's no vying for power. There's no constitutional crisis in that sense. And so if you are that person, you do get to be the incumbent in 4 years and seek re-election one time.
Yeah.
And as the incumbent, the
Yep.
other ones, if the other parties win,
You get the three
it's
other-
another roll of
the three
dice.
other go
we
up
don't
there.
know who they are.
Yeah.
But they get a call.
Yeah, you still get the 10-year max or 8-year 2 terms, 2 with the vice president. Can
Yeah.
you do that still? I guess.
that again?
But it's still random. It's like your VP for the 2 years, right? If you end up VP in the last half of a presidency and you become president, you get the 2 years plus the eight after, 2 terms after. What happens then? I guess you still get to go to election for the next 2 terms.
Yeah, I guess we would just
It
treat that
stays
the same.
that normal, right?
Just treat that the same. And I guess the VP would also have to be
Random.
on the Rolodex, on the lottery ball too. Like, hey, you've been selected to be the vice president. You were second lottery ball that popped out.
Yeah,
You
that's
accept.
good. First and second.
Yeah.
I want them fucking opposite parties, dude. That's what I want. That would be fucking fantastic.
I mean that
Opposite
that fucks
parties.
that fucks the whole Democratic whole point.
No.
Because we the American
VP
people
can do
voted
less.
for one party.
The VP
but
can do
but
less.
The president could die. And then,
Yeah,
and then the party that did not win
Right.
the vote by the American people is in
Fuck
there.
it. Check
Why
this
would
out.
you do that?
Check this out. No, check this out. You have to vote when you have to vote for president and vice president from the opposite party. So I actually got a say in picking who the vice president's going to be. You don't get to do that today, right? You don't get to vote for the vice president. You get to vote for the president and whoever they picked. So you go in and you're voting for I'm voting Republican, so I'm going to vote for Trump, and then I'm going to vote for a pool of Democratic vice presidents. And then so I get to pick who's going to be my Democratic VP. So if the president dies, I at least voted for who's going to be my new president.
Now you're fucking up my plan.
What?
I have no idea. why
Fucking up
that
your
makes any
plan.
sense.
Why
But,
wouldn't it make sense? You get to vote for a VP of the opposite party. So
You're voting for a party to be in control of the executive branch.
the VP does almost nothing.
But at any given time they could do something, and I don't know why.
Right.
What would be the advantage of having them be the
Because
opposite?
while they're
It's
in
like just
office,
playing
they'll
the game.
fight together and stay moderate.
They'll
They'll stay
how it
moderate.
works.
Yeah, totally. Imagine Kamala being Trump's VP. She would have fucking made sure he didn't do anything.
She has no power, as you said.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah.
I like my plan.
So speaking of
Trump?
Vivek, he had mentioned, doesn't he believe that we should have a test to be able to vote?
And I've been talking about this forever. Like, this is great. Yes.
I'm not actually for this.
Oh, fuck you, man. It makes so much sense. I'm also for having a test to be a parent because people have too many parents or too many kids.
I'm more in favor of that. But
Yeah, why
then
wouldn't
we
you take
would have
why wouldn't you take a test to vote, dude? Like,
Because let me explain it, and
bro,
we'll see
simple
if I can
test.
persuade you.
Simple test. Like the citizenship test that you take to become a US citizen. Why couldn't that be your voting test? Because I know most of the people that are citizens, I'll say most, wouldn't pass the citizenship test right now.
I think this would be my reason. Oh, I feel that a bunch of college students who think they're smart but are actually not necessarily so
They're dumb.
would be the ones to mostly go out and take the test. Mm-hmm. And therefore they would be voting in higher percentages than a lot of people that are blue collar that aren't even caring or not going to go study for it or not going to do it.
I
And
don't
now
think
they're
that's
going to
true,
be
man.
not being able to vote.
I think the blue collar workers are so patriotic that I think they're going to go out and do it. You're betting on people all of a sudden becoming non-patriots over a 10-question test, Like
They're talking about a 10-question test. What's
well,
the point?
I'm just making up shit,
It's going to be a legitimate test. It needs to be a legitimate test.
What's the point? Come on. Like, I don't know. What's the X amendment? Like, it'd make it fucking random. So you have to learn all the fucking amendments or all the whatever. Like, make it. People would fucking learn shit and they would definitely do it.
It sounds good. I mean, I don't know if I have an objection on principle, but I feel
you
like
do have you have a valid concern. Some people are going to not do it, right? People who are like already like, meh, whatever. They're definitely not going to do it now. But you're going to lose a lot of people that have no business voting. Like maybe the gains outweigh the losses because there's a bunch of people that fuck you. I mean, you see them talking on Facebook or whatever groups or in real life, and they're saying shit, and you're like, what the fuck? This guy is just wrong. If he has to get questions right, his answers are wrong. Like he won't. So I don't know. I feel like it would weed out a ton of people. You might lose some good people, but you might lose a lot of bad people.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. Okay, that does not require a constitutional amendment. Did you know that?
I don't.
The whole other thing we just talked about does. But that one does not. But the caveat,
tell.
I will.
Okay.
The states largely set the parameters for who votes.
Okay.
Okay. Now there's
Alabama and Florida have lately set the parameters that black people can't vote.
That is not true.
Oh, just their votes count for like 3/5 as many?
That's also not true. They've drawn the lines in ways that dilute their ability to elect who they want.
But
anyway,
what fraction would you give the dilution?
I don't know. I don't want to give a probable fraction because I haven't looked into the number.
Maybe like 6/10.
Yeah,
that's 3/5.
Fuck. I didn't even put together what you were doing.
Okay. So how can they get away with this? How can they change it to require a test?
I'm just saying that, you can't discriminate based on race. You can't discriminate based on sex. You can't discriminate based on age.
You can based on cognitive ability.
You can.
Because that's not a...
I mean, well, you know what? Hold on. Did I just fuck myself?
Maybe.
I'm thinking now that literacy tests...
Oh, God.
I think
it's not a literacy test.
It's not a literacy test per se. So I think we would be good constitutionally. But the only thing is it would have to be state by state. So you'd have to get like a bunch of states to go along. I mean, one state could do it or two states could do it. You can't compel states to compel all the other states to do it. And you can't do it federally. So it would require like a national movement to get all the states to do it, and that would that's probably not going to be successful.
It'd be on
it's not going to be successful in your
Democrats
most
wouldn't
states.
do it. Republicans would.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
It seems very Democratic Republican.
It does seem that way.
Divisive thing. Genuine question, and I don't mean any offense by it. Ken, do you know about the requirements for like mentally challenged people to vote? Can they vote? Do you know? Because that kind of ties into cognitive ability, I think, and maybe even that alone is insensitive. Not trying to be, but
I know of no rule that can stop them that would seem to violate the Constitution.
You think so?
Yeah, because that violates equal protection and
yeah.
Well, dang, it's a good question. I believe they do vote.
I'm gonna,
but I don't know.
Pick my words.
What would
very
be the legality of trying to stop them?
I
don't think.
Very delicate in my phrasing. Is this even politically correct anymore? Mentally challenged? Oh, look at that! Fuck, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
First one was vote.
For sure.
Yeah, but first one. Disabled person such as a resident can vote unless a probate court has specifically declared him incapable of exercising. It doesn't say declared her incapable of exercising the right to vote, though. So, mentally challenged females, you're good to go.
This is just a patriarchal.
Well, it's also in Connecticut, so
okay. They can be stripped of their right to vote, apparently, within the Constitution's parameters.
Understand what it means to vote. Federal law guarantees your right to vote. The law that gives you the right, the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Oh, good.
Doe versus Roe. All right, there's a real act that protects that as long as you understand what it means to vote is the qualifier there. You can't be like delusional. I guess that would that's not just like Down syndrome people. That's people that like.
But this would be such a small fraction that it wouldn't even ever probably impact an election. But
I was curious on how
legally.
We were talking about cognitive ability and this test and the legality of it, and can you even do that? I'm still undecided.
FYI, if you go into the Constitution, so what?
I was going to do that tomorrow.
So states do it, right? States control the rules as long as they're not, as long as they're not in conflict with the Constitution and its various amendments. What they have to do is whoever can vote in your state's whoever could vote for the state legislature has to be able to vote for your House races and your Senate races.
Okay.
So if the state of Florida said, all right, you got to be, you got to pass this test to vote. They could do that. They couldn't just do it for U.S. elections for the House and Senate. They had to do it for their own state. Yeah. As long as you do that, you're good.
I mean, I got to imagine if you want it federally, you want it. What is locally,
I would assume
state.
you wouldn't have any, but it was written in the Constitution to make sure they weren't doing like a fuckery thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can only fucking sabotage federal shit, but our state's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty shitty. I think that we're gonna be going to all this talk because we're talking about Trump and Biden here again. Fucking
yeah.
America doesn't want them. It's still 70% don't want Biden and 60% don't want Trump. And so, that leaves 30%, a minimum 30% of America don't want, or a minimum of 60% of America don't want the two candidates. That's most of America doesn't want these two fucking people up there.
Yeah.
That sucks. And those are our two people.
Yep.
And everybody on the Republican side wants Biden gone enough to where they're going to just go with Trump. That's the caveat.
I mean, the Democrats are taking a hell of a risk with Biden.
I don't know why they wouldn't put up someone better. Like they could,
because the thing is, you say put up someone better as if they have the power to be like, you are going to run.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
fucking.
They don't. So
They could
a
be
lot
like,
of the
"Hey,
people that
run?"
are in the wings waiting, they don't want to run this time. I think that's the central problem that they're having is like the major players are kind of like sitting this one out.
Yeah, because they don't want to blow their load over on a Trump loss.
It's not just a Trump loss. It's like the economic wave thing. Like a lot of
shit's bad right now. You don't want to be the president while shit's bad. You want to wait until the fucking.
If things are continuing to, I mean, it's sort of like arguably bad. But if things continue to be not any better. And possibly get worse, right?
You don't want to be the president during that.
Well, you don't know. It's that you don't want to run and lose during that time, right? Because the American people are going to be trending Republican because they're going to blame the current party in power.
I see.
On the economy. They're going to go, let's go the other way. So they don't want to go and get fucked.
I thought you were saying like after the election they get voted in, and then they're dealing with
that possibly in terms of Ukraine and
on
stuff
decline
and Russia. I mean, maybe that, but like. More
saying even like near term, very near term.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like the right time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotcha.
So
you know who should run though?
Oh,
I think Mitch McConnell should run for president because that dude.
Pull up the clip.
That dude is on par with.
Pull up the clip of the freeze.
Oh God. Let's get it up here. Let's type in. Let's see if it's my history. Mitch. Oh, yeah. There we go. Kentucky press conference. Boom. Here it is. Oh,
Aspire at Waterstone is a community of new homes nestled in the heart of Fort Pierce, Florida. Choose from 4 stunning single-family home designs.
Oh, here it is.
Senator, you're up for election in 3 short years. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm sorry, I had a hard time hearing you.
That's okay. What are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
Yes.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny.
My man was back home in Kentucky and just froze up on us.
He doesn't look like he's frozen. He looks like he's trying not to fall over. He looks like he's really focusing on holding that fucking pedestal, I think. I don't think he's actually seizing or anything.
Somebody else have a question? What efforts is
Oh, he's fucking back at it.
Yeah, he's right back at it. Bounce back.
Maybe.
Senator Daniel Cameron. You have a comment on Daniel
I feel bad
Cameron?
laughing.
well, I think the government race is going to be very close.
Oh, he's back. Okay, hit pause, please. So,
Yeah.
you know, the congressional doctor, okay,
Yeah.
If he's to be trusted. No relationship to Fauci, I don't think. So that's good. Says that McConnell, that this was not a seizure or like, it's not a stroke. It's not a thing. He's fine.
Yeah,
it's related to his concussion, which he's now come out and admitted that he's a concussion survivor or whatever, and that it's like the 2 times that have been caught on camera, he claims are the only 2 times this has happened. Of course, obviously, I have no way to know.
It could be like high stress or fucking.
My thing is everyone's getting on his shit, and I'm like, yo, he's not an air traffic controller.
Yeah, right.
He's a legislative strategist / money raiser for the Republican Party. He's still a wealth of knowledge and skill and so forth. Like, I don't know why everyone's like, gotta retire. He's gonna run. He's gonna retire anyway in a couple of years. So
I do think he should retire,
like immediately. You're saying
not because of this, but in general. Like, come on, like, go enjoy retirement.
Okay, you're just making like a
yeah. But I'm gonna
okay.
Get to the part where I agree with you. I watched him talking in other clips and stuff, seeing like, is this guy lost it? And he doesn't seem like he's cognitively gone. He just seems like he's having these couple episodes, which we've only seen 2 of. I don't know if they're protecting him or whatever. But I mean, he's answering questions. He's not reading off of fucking note cards, like he's up there and he's dealing with it. He's a little slower. He can't hear very well, and he's a little slower articulating his thoughts, but it seems like he's firing on like most cylinders.
He's at least as cognitively adequate as Biden.
Yeah, more so.
And with way less responsibility.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like, who fucking cares?
Well, the people that are, who's asking him to step down that's not asking Biden to step down? I mean, are there Democrats saying this guy needs to step down? Because
I'm just saying
you have a split party here. So
I'm not making a partisan.
Well, no, I think people have to, because you can't say Mitch McConnell needs to take a seat without saying Biden needs to take a seat, and you can't say vice versa. Probably
you can say Biden needs to take a seat, but not him, because he's not the fucking president. It's a whole different level of fucking.
So you're saying the Republicans have the upper hand on this one?
Republicans have the upper hand here, yes.
In the argument. Yeah. So Democrats definitely can't be saying right now that fucking this guy needs to take a seat, and Biden, without saying Biden needs to take a seat.
I don't think they are.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Who's saying this guy needs to step down is what I was kind of curious about.
I think your general, I have heard, so I know some people that have said he should step down.
Yeah.
I won't say their names, of course, but they've told me that I think he should step down. And of course, your sort of typical cynical, people online will kind of like just make fun of him as being a nursing home. DC is a nursing home. Yeah. He should step down. They're kind of just not partisan, but
it's a good out though, right? Like, I feel like if I'm him, I'm like, this is a sign. Like, I need to get the fuck out of the game. I don't have much time left. I should enjoy it. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, fucking.
The move probably would have been to help lead the charge to impeach Trump after the second time, and just do a mic drop.
Oh, because take the Republican Party and impeach Trump with it.
Give a hell of a speech
and get the fuck out of there.
Give an amazing speech about
fucking
true conservatism
and
versus
drop
populism,
dead right there at the podium,
and help impeach him, and just go out a boss in terms of your legacy, and retire, as you said, go to Kentucky and fucking drink bourbon and spend time with your family.
I don't think,
but he cares about the power, and he wants to be Senate Majority Leader again after the 2024 election. He hopes. What?
He's staying in.
Yeah,
for that long?
His term, he just got reelected.
Bro.
If I recall right, he just got reelected.
These fucking bitches.
Run out till 26.
We need a fucking cap, dude. We need an age cap for sure. It's the only way you can do it. Or a fucking, I don't know, fuck Jesus. They're not invested in the youth, man.
You don't need an age cap. I mean, the people of Kentucky vote him in. The people of Kentucky vote him in.
Is that how that works, though?
What do you mean?
Are the people of Kentucky voting him in? Are they?
What do you mean? I mean,
don't they have to put someone up against them? They probably put pieces of shit up against them, and they're like, of course I want McConnell. Kinda, but it's also a game.
I mean, sure, that would be every election ever.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. Well, I don't want to make this whole episode about my disdain for.
No, I'm just saying I'm on Team
politics.
McConnell because I like Mitch McConnell for whatever reason. I don't know why I like that guy.
Well, a couple of years ago, he seemed like he was doing it. You know,
he's sort of just a
bro.
He's quiet,
bro.
Keeps shit close to the vest, makes his moves,
bro.
But yeah.
All right, what else we got on this bitch? Oh, we didn't even fucking mention Jimmy. We were supposed to mention Jimmy first, dude.
You didn't have a clip.
Well, I was worried about going to jail or ending up in the fucking courtroom next to Trump in Fort Pierce. Yeah, I don't know what I can play on these things, but I don't think that that's protected under the fair use or fair trade.
What is your relationship with Jimmy's music?
Bro, my family was going boating all the time. Like, since I was like 4, listening to Jimmy Buffett all the time. Like all of his albums. It's like that's all that was playing.
When you say family now, was your father's side involved in boating as well?
No.
Okay, you're just mean.
Yeah. Mom, stepdad. Yeah.
But
we're out on the boat every weekend.
They've been married that long?
Yeah, my parents split when I was 2, and they started. Oh yeah,
I think
that's fucking
1 or 2.
I can't imagine doing that. Not to shame our parents here, but that's
better than like 7 or 10.
It's way better than 7, but that early into it, and you're like, like maybe it's like I don't know.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know. But so yeah, like every week. So I'm sorry, they split when I was like 2, and then Mom and Lou, Cool Pop, started dating, I think when I was like 3 or 4, like pretty soon after. She worked for him. And yeah.
Toxic.
I don't know if she worked for him, but they worked in the same office. But maybe for him. And then at like 5 they got married in the Keys. But like every weekend we were boating.
Yeah. And so that's the soundtrack of your childhood.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
So
what about you?
Sort of similar thing. My dad moved to Florida when I was 11, and he was taking a job with Hawaiian Tropic Sun Care. And so that's a big sort of part of my whole upbringing, is sort of being
titties.
Yep.
This makes a lot of sense.
The owner of Hawaiian Tropic, the original owner and founder of Hawaiian Tropic, is a guy named Ron Rice, and he sort of was like a wannabe Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
And so he sort of had this type of pad in Daytona, and had the Hawaiian Tropic models around, and there was like a National Hawaiian Tropic, I guess, model contest out in Vegas and stuff like that. But that's kind of besides the point. But like being closer to the water, and my dad and some of his buddies, who basically have been my closest boys growing up, were all into it. So my dad was listening to it, and I was the weirdo back in Mississippi listening to Jimmy Buffett in my car, just from being summers in Daytona and liking the music.
Yeah.
But I never even really liked like the Margaritaville song.
No, some of them are like overplayed. It's like his
I don't even like those, but some of the other ones, the Come Monday and the Pirate Looks at 40, those are great. I love those songs. So, damn.
Yeah, man. Yeah, most of our boating playlist is just Buffett. It's Buffett and Marley. Couple.
No yacht rock? I love yacht rock.
I don't even know what yacht rock is, but I suspect.
I don't know if I could define it very well.
Is it rock
in terms of the?
Or is it like?
Not really.
Is it like people in Sperry's? Like
it's like, it's kind of like soft rock.
Sounds terrible.
Soft rock,
absolutely not. Like Eagles, fuck.
Well, I don't know if that's yacht rock, but
you smiled.
You're
like Eagles.
I love the Eagles, but
boo, no way, nope, pass.
What's that song? Africa.
Oh, the one that Weezer covered, Africa by Toto.
Yeah,
I watched
that's a yacht rock song.
The Rains Down in Africa.
Yeah, it's like a top yacht rock song.
Is that yacht rock?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's not like
it's like white people singing African music. Like, I guess that's like yacht stuff, right? White people singing African songs.
It's colonial adjacent.
Colonial adjacent. Okay,
hold on. Let's do this real quick. Can I do this? Let's see if this is gonna. Should I bring up some yacht rock songs?
Are you gonna play something? Are we gonna go to jail over it? Because if we are, we should just lean into it and play it on through the internet on Spotify.
We're only an hour in. We're good.
If we play Spotify,
yacht rock essentials. Okay. Oh yeah, man, I love this shit. Here we go.
Just give me some names. Don't send us to jail. This is terrible. No, this is elevator music, bro. Nah,
dude.
This is like they only use this in like commercials now.
That's it. If you don't like that, you don't like yacht rock. I love it.
Nah, trash.
Hall and Oates, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nope. Pass. Pass on it.
So anyway, rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. Rest in peace. Go ahead.
I learned. I'm glad that I didn't know this until after he died. But he was a pretty hardcore Democrat by what I've read.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
He spoke at or sang at a few Florida things recently, and like changed lyrics of "Come Monday" to shit talk the GOP, and some other song to give shit to Rick Scott. And all kinds of shit like that. Like apparently he was pretty...
Well, that's cool. I like him even more.
Yeah, I know. You're probably like, he's my best friend. So I'm reading that. I'm like, you fucking mother.
One of my dad's best buddies, rest in peace, Dan Doherty, was a liberal guy.
Yeah.
And he sort of had some influence on me. But he was I wouldn't say he's a parrot head per se, but he was definitely one of those guys that was listening to it with Dad. And
yeah.
So that's kind of mixed into it. So yeah.
And then
what's that other guy's name? The Smash Mouth singer.
Smash Mouth.
Because that's a whole nother part of childhood.
Well, his liver was shot. Right. He was. What is even playing us out right now? I always forget to do this.
Is this really gonna fuck us?
No, it's not. I just gotta.
We're not going anywhere. Yep. Don't leave. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
All
But
right.
it's gonna go. Yeah, true.
Damn it, motherfucker. Yep, that's why you listen to Ring Radical, so you can hear the outro early.
Yeah, true.
Because we're amateurs here.
I always mute the intro tracks for this, and I always forget the outros.
But did you not give a fuck about that guy? Because he fucked himself? Is that what you're saying? Fuck him. He fucking drank too much? Like you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, I'm going to be in that boat, so same, brother. Like, we do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... It's just kind of when you see somebody that, like, ODs or something like this, I definitely think it makes it less sad. I don't know, it's just
it does, and I don't
not trying to be
have as
insensitive,
much of an emotional connection with him, but I did like the one All-Star
Yeah, like the
song.
3 songs that they listed, right? Like all the ones
I
that were
hated
in
the fucking Shrek cover.
I was gonna say all the ones that were in Shrek.
Yeah.
Those were all the Smash.
I just
songs.
like that one song. All-Star was just like,
All-Star was great.
That,
Yeah.
that had its 1 or 2 good summers of playing baseball and listening to that. So
Yeah. Yep, getting
sucks
first,
for that
second
guy.
base to All-Star. What were you talking about?
Was that
yeah.
it? Was that
No,
no, man, we're
dude,
not
we
done
had
with the
so much.
topics.
We had so much more, dude.
Okay,
I was
done.
I was
Are you
looking.
done?
No, I was looking through the list and it was just like,
Yeah.
fuck. I need to
So-
mention Jimmy immediately.
One topic that we didn't cover that we got close to was
Demetrio, whatever.
what's his name?
I don't know. I made.
I think it's Enrique Taro or something.
made it
So
up.
the biggest January 6th conviction just came down. I want to say it's Enrique Taro, Tarro. Tario. Okay,
Well,
Tario.
that's in my notes. That's in
Tario.
my notes, so that could be wrong.
So this guy
That's in
got
your
the
notes.
largest sentence yet of the January 6th, and he's expected to be the largest at 22 years for his conspiracy, sedition stuff. And I just want to make the point that say what you will about the
That's Tario.
MAGA Nation. This guy is not white. MAGA Nation is apparently quite diverse. This guy's a Cuban American from Florida. Of course, he's a Florida man. And so he was sort of treated as the biggest ringleader of the Proud Boys.
yeah, he wasn't.
And
He
so-
wasn't there, which I
And
learned.
he wasn't
I just
even
learned that
there.
today.
Yeah,
he wasn't there.
apparently he was. Yeah,
He was orchestrating from a hotel,
I guess
something like that, right?
Allegedly, I mean, not allegedly. He's been convicted, but yeah,
Allegedly.
I don't have to say.
It's still alleged.
that. Is it?
You can't get a fair trial in Florida. Where I don't even know where the trial was.
So, the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and some of these guys have gotten some of the biggest sentences, and some of his homies got some of the other larger sentences,
It's all
like
17 years,
18
yeah.
years, yeah. And so he got 22. The prosecutor was asking for like 33, as to set an example against other would-be revolutionaries. So I don't feel too bad about it, because at first I was like, damn, 22 years, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like people do some heinous shit and don't get that much time. But considering, this is sedition, considering that the level of fear that he spread and propaganda that he spread and all of the, he's the head of the Proud Boys. I mean, he's a pretty big figure.
It's very, very responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're egging all these people on and they do some bad shit. Like, you weren't stopping them. Now, when it happened, it says, I just reading this right here on the screen, it said he was in jail during Jan 6, he was in jail. I thought he was in a hotel orchestrating shit. He was in jail for defacing a Black Lives Matter something days before. Yeah,
and I think he had been tipped off that he was going to be being arrested by one of his own, like, I guess, Proud Boy members, sort of, or associates that was inside, like, the police department of, like, Baltimore or whatever. So,
Oh, it says he maintained a command over the Proud Boys members after his arrest and cheered on the group as its members stormed the Capitol.
Yeah, and even, like, I want to say even during the trial time period, he was, like, still, like, online, like,
he
giving interviews.
He took credit for the riot on behalf of the group. So he didn't do anything to convince anybody otherwise.
Yeah.
He just definitely seems responsible.
So,
well, Jesus.
Cool. Good for American justice.
It's like, good for America. This is what we're doing now.
So was there another topic?
There's two other topics, bro.
Okay. I know one of them. I can think of one's Ukraine.
Ukraine,
graft.
and then it was foreign. Oh, New Jersey. Ukraine and New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. New Jersey says, no, thank you. We're a sanctuary state in name only. We don't want any of New York's immigrants.
We'll get it next time. We'll get it next time. You get the check now. We'll get it next time.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, so I guess Biden or
I think the Biden administration kind of floated the idea. Like,
we're like, we're going to put it in. I don't know what it was, like at the Atlantic City or Atlantic something airport, start putting people in there, and they were like, nah, we don't see how that location or really any other location are gonna work. Like, we just don't have the money for it. There's no pass. Fucking next idea, because it's not us. So it's like, I mean, this was similar to how New York, I felt like, was kind of acting with what was it, Mayor Adams, with like, we're a sanctuary city, we're way the fuck up north, no one's coming here, we'll take them, and then push comes to shove, you got to take them, and you're like, I don't want to be doing this. Like, you want all the credit when it's not happening, and then you have to put up, and you're like, I don't like this at all.
Yeah, I think we're still seeing, I read the other day, like, record-breaking something or another in terms of arrest at the border, but at least it's arrest. I mean, as I've said before, that does mean they're apprehending them. But
it was a record number, right? Because I didn't bring it up, but I wanted to be like, hey, looks like Title 42 is finally catching up with us for its cancellation. We're like, oh, nothing really happened, and now they're having record numbers. Yeah. And then I also saw today that I was trying to pull it up here, but a New York Times notification saying that Mayor Adams is going after Biden again, saying we need help, we need fucking help, like, you got to do something. And that was today. He's saying that shit again, like, we don't have the money, resources, whatever. So he's crying about it too, even though he's a sanctuary city. So I don't know what these guys are doing. I don't know what the country's doing either. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, you would think there'd be some type of federal intervention at this point. It seems like they're just chilling. Like, I don't know.
I don't know what you can do.
They did stop Abbott from putting up his barbed wire.
Was it barbed wire?
Submarine fence. I think it was a razor wire. Yeah, the
judge did intervene on the 1,000-foot barrier in the river that Abbott's using.
They have to pull it out, and they can't put anything in its place until it's resolved. Right. And it said Abbott appealed it immediately, but I don't really know what appeal it means in terms of leaving it or not leaving it in the water. I don't know how I don't know that level of detail. But yeah, I don't know. Immigration's up. Democrats are crying like little bitches, per usual.
What? Oh yeah.
What?
In New York and New Jersey.
Just in general, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not looking good right now.
No, it's not.
For 24. But things can change.
I heard on Fox today that they suspect that abortion is going to be a huge topic in 2024. Yeah, they're like that. Like that's why we think Haley is might could do well, right? Yeah, she might be able to pull Democrats, man. She can pull enough Republicans.
I mean, I'm one of them, basically. Essentially,
you're gonna have every Republican is going to vote for the Republican candidate, and then you have someone that can also pull Democrats. Like she might be super strong.
I mean, I'm itching to vote Republican.
Yeah,
I just
you need the person.
The right one,
yeah. You need someone worth throwing your vote to. Yeah. So that might be a big topic, and then everyone's concerned about obviously the gas and groceries, which conveniently get left out of inflation numbers. Like I don't get that. Those are the two biggest ones, and they're like your inflation adjusted to not include groceries and gas. I'm like, what the fuck is that then?
Are you sure? I mean, there's a few.
That's what they say on the news every fucking time they report the numbers. It's like only if you exclude those, it's only 4%. If you include them, it's like 20%. It's never 20. It's like 9 or 10. But they always leave them out, so the inflation numbers look better.
I don't speak on that because I haven't looked at the details lately. There's a couple of different major figures that they look at for inflation, and I'm sure the economists and the
they probably have a reason for leaving certain things out if they are, but it just seems funny that those are the ones that are always fucking crazy high, and those are the ones that get left out.
Well, one thing I noticed is that how they always come out with these jobs numbers, and they're like, all these jobs were created in the last quarter, and what I've noticed is in the last one of the recent ones has been reconfigured a couple of times since and been dramatically less.
Yeah. It was like 187,000 less.
Yeah,
this last
like
one.
it's pretty dramatic. I was like, oh shit!
It ticked it down like a 0.1% year to year, whatever it was.
So obviously, the economy is like number one when it goes to what the American people are thinking about, unless there's a war going on.
Yeah,
So you got that, and you got the economy, maybe a little bit of foreign affairs, maybe a scandal, which could happen with Trump or Biden. There's a few major factors like that. Abortion, there's a few things that people look at, but the economy is at the top.
Yeah, that's the one that hurts everybody immediately.
People are like, "Yo, Biden's old." They vote that way, right? Like, he's old. Yeah. The economy's not great. I don't know if it's his fault entirely, but like, what the fuck?
Take
our
chance with someone else.
Yeah,
we gave him 4. It didn't get better.
Yeah,
They can't hurt to go with someone else for 4. Take our chances over here.
Yeah.
So what's left? You got Ukraine.
Yeah.
You got corruption in Ukraine.
Yeah. So, that's the biggest foreign policy thing right now that we talk about.
Not North Korea teaming up with Russia.
Right. I know. Yeah. Probably a bigger deal. But apparently the leader over there, what's it, Zelensky? He's gotten rid of the defense minister, citing corruption and graft. Although I don't know if that defense minister necessarily had anything to do with it, but he's at the top of it. So let's get rid of him.
They didn't explicitly claim he did any of it himself. I remember seeing there was some kind of like saving grace kind of phrasing where like, we're not saying he did it, but we'll let him go because he's responsible.
But I read, and I don't. Did you read the same?
Maybe.
I read that none of the Western money, Western aid, or weapons has been a part of what's been abused or
what's alleged.
Lost.
Yeah,
alleged. So,
but you got to wonder if it's being abused elsewhere. Is that money going to make up for the lack of money that was abused? Once you throw all the money into a pool, you're not saying that dollar was mine, that dollar was yours. Like it's all money.
Right. It's kind of like what we talked about with Iran. Sort of.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I just want to say that like. This isn't really I don't think this is a good argument for like whether we should or should not be supporting them at this point.
Agreed. I think it would be a good argument for it because Zelensky's doing something about it. Like if you were if there was a time to not give money, it's already passed. Now would be a time. It's like when the stocks are down.
That it was in the early months of this thing that most of this
So you got to assume that the corruption, like the money we've already given them might have been spent, but if you've stopped it, the future money we give them won't be spent corruptly.
But apparently it was like overpaying for eggs, overpaying for winter coats. If the information's accurate that we're getting from the New York Times.
Right. It was just like bloated expenses on things. Like,
yeah. Typical,
yep.
Corruption of governments, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's a good headline for Republicans, or I shouldn't say that, but America First type MAGA Republicans.
It's not great to hear
out there.
Yeah, it's not a great thing.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
Hear.
But ultimately,
you're giving money to somebody who's a corrupt government who's been caught.
Yeah, you're not giving money to Abrams in New York City.
Right.
The saying will be right. But you're giving more billions to the corrupt Ukrainian government. But then, of course, if you do something about the corruption and try to get rid of a certain prosecutor, well, then that's corrupt also, Joe.
He got indicted, right, Joe? He's getting indicted?
Joe is getting indicted. No,
Joe
Hunter apparently is going to be, they're going to ask for an indictment on the whole fucking firearms or some shit. It's not even about get him on firearms. The fun stuff.
So I know we're fucking way over time here, but real quick, this was, you had texted me earlier this week like, hey, you might be surprised Weiss is doing it, but I countered you saying, hey, I think that if they were going to assign, if they were serious, they would assign someone else. If Biden's going to get in trouble, right, they want to be the ones to have caught him. And so they're not going to assign another special counsel to get him in trouble who will definitely uncover it. They have to assign Weiss and Garland to be the ones like, see, we weren't playing fuck around. Like we just needed time to uncover it. So like, I'm not really surprised. Like, but he was definitely guilty and Weiss needed to catch him. So they didn't look guilty. So this isn't a big shock. It's also a conspiracy, but it's not a big shock to me that Weiss got him.
And this is probably what, I mean, even if you are convicted, I mean, is that even any jail time? For
I don't even, he's being indicted, but I thought indictment was some like bullshit, like political term for politicians. Like, aren't you like charged and convicted?
Indictment means the grand jury formally charges you.
Okay. I thought that's a thing. You don't hear like some guy, like some murderer has been indicted. Like I feel like this is not a thing.
Well, I think you do, but
do you? It's never phrased like that. Yeah. So Hunter Biden being indicted to me seems like Trump's been indicted 4 times and everything's like Gucci. So I don't see an indictment really matter. It's like being held in contempt of Congress. We talked about like, is that even real?
Indictment means you're being charged.
You're being charged, right? And then you have to see if you're going to get convicted or not.
Certain levels of crimes. Prosecutors got to get a grand jury,
and they indict, which just means charged.
To legitimize the charges as legit charges.
Yeah.
It doesn't say you're guilty, but they're like, this is worthy.
So it's like if there was a murderer, they would just be like, oh, he's been charged with 1st-degree murder or some 2nd-degree murder, and then it's like the same, just a different word for that type of crime. Is what it seems like. It just always seems like it means nothing. Anytime I hear someone's been impeached or indicted,
that's just because you're thinking about Trump, and it's not
right.
I mean, but Trump's could mean something.
Yeah. They just never. They just never.
A bunch
seem
of
to.
His posse is already turning on him.
Really?
Yeah.
Navarro today came out as he was held in contempt of Congress. He was convicted.
Yeah, I'm seeing that some people in the Georgia case are playing ball.
Fuck, bro.
Including, like, I think Meadows.
You still got to get 12
Oh, yeah.
people.
Still got to get the jury.
Takes that one fucking guy, comes in a fucking MAGA hat the last day.
Or me, remember?
Yeah, right. You're like, he might be innocent. You've had me the whole time.
There was a guy, dude, that just got let out. I forgot his name. I think it was like in the last day or two. He just got let out. He was in jail for like 50 years, and he got, what's the word?
Pardoned?
Not pardoned. The evidence was like found to be inaccurate or whatever. He was, it was overturned. It was,
what is it?
I don't know.
What is it?
I'm drawing blank.
The word's right there.
It was the longest in American history. A guy had been in jail and then let out 50 years, I think, plus.
What did he come out like? I fucking told you. Like, can you sue people? Like, how do you? Like, his whole life got taken from him, right? Like, he doesn't get that back.
It's crazy. He ought to get something.
He should. Like, so, like that situation, I'm all for fucking free ride yachts, whatever.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
make sure the rest of his life is just straight up hookers and yachts.
Right, dude. Blow straight out of the butthole. Like, all good, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put him on the board of Barisma. Just fucking whatever he wants.
20 mil for his family.
Yeah,
instant.
No qualification.
Sweet plea deal, all of it. Man.
Yeah. Well, this was a long one, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So you're not gonna be here next week, or it's the
Wednesday?
Next
We're
week?
gonna do Wednesday next week.
We are doing
Wednesday. I'm going out of town Thursday morning.
Okay.
So if your lovely wife is off, we'd probably want to try to squeak that one in a little early if possible. Because I'm leaving Thursday morning.
She will be off.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
So if you can't, you can't. I'll just muscle through it. But I mean, we're just going up to Jacksonville on Thursday, so I don't have a huge all day drive.
Yeah,
we're doing the puddle jump. So we're planning on getting up there by noon. We're out of the house by like 9. Like, it's not a huge deal, but it's gonna be stress and packing, and we're gonna be gone for a week and a half. Yeah. We've never taken a family road trip like this before. It's get weird. All the way up to Tennessee.
God. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna try it out. But yep, next week I will be here. The following week we'll have to get creative. Maybe over the weekend. I don't really know.
Okay. Well, until we meet again, my friend.
Yep, it's been nice. Catch you next time.
Later. That's why you listen to Wing Radicals.
Yeah, true.